Hi guys, it's Mark from the rcgarage 68 in France for the Losi Dbxl-E. Now he runs 6 packs, about 50 minutes packs, and the last run we make him jumps. We make him really have some rough landing. He makes the jump that I make with the X-Max, because many people compare this to an X-Max. It's just not possible. This is a buggy in 1/5 scale. The X-Max is a smaller scale, is lighter, and it's made for abuse. This car is more for faster off-road runnings, but not for big jumps. However, he did it and he survived. I break the rear ring, not by the jumping. At the second run I make a rollover and I kill the rear ring, and I'm not the only one. I ask many people who had the Dbxl, they all had the same problem. This is really tough. He has a lot of plastic on, but it's not flexible enough, so he breaks. It's not a big deal. I prefer it without ring, but I'm gonna put here a spare wheel on. The cage break after a real hard land on the roof. You will see it on the video. That's not from the Dbxl, that's the fault of the driver. It's my fault. I lose the heads from the pilots. That happens the first run after a few minutes. That's a weak point from the truck. Now I have disassembled the center of the truck to show you some things, and because I will take a 530 kV motor in the same size as this one, and the 12S ESC in this truck, not for going faster but for have a cooler run for lipos and motor. Yesterday was not so hot, it was about 50 degrees Celsius out here, but the motor after 4th hour was really hot. I give him hard on the gas and something, but I think it's too hot because it's not summer. What will happen with summer temperature with 25, 30, 35 to 40 degrees Celsius here? It will be much too hot, and in 12F I am sure I can keep the heat down. So many people too think this is a Castle motor, and since beginning I say this is maybe not a Castle motor. I going for X-Team, and fact is the Castle 800 kV motor has a really strong magnet. It has a lot of amp draw. It needs to 250 amps. This one only need 160 amps. That's why they just put an Hobby Wing Maxis ESC. This guy can take 160 amp. So the only way to get so low consumption with so big motors is to have not so strong magnets to put down the amp draw, and not have so strong magnets also put down the torque force from the motor. And here it is. Look, I can't here turn super easy the shaft from this motor, and it's exactly the same thing I have on my X-Team motor. I have an X-Team motor 92 mm motor in my 12S X-Max, and I take this X-Team motor because he don't need too much amp. That's exactly why I put it in the X-Max. The X-Max is really light. He has 10 kilograms and 20 pounds, and he not needs such strong motor or needs so much amps. That's why I will put a Leopard 8530 mm motor in 500 kV in this truck, and this one goes in my Losi R8 who is here with this ESC, so I can make a 8S Losi R8 full Losi. That's why. What happens here at the fourth run is that the stock servo died. The pinion gear in the motor goes down, so I put here my Dbxl servo in. It's a 40 kilo metal waterproof servo, fits perfectly in, it's absolutely no problem. So it's an easy fix. But I'm really not happy for a car at this price to have such a weak servo, and here too I'm not the only one. Many people has this problem. It happens not by the jump session, it's happened on a flat surface by running around. Suddenly the car goes straight, and this is really dangerous with such a heavy weight, with so much power, to have a stock servo who just gives up. The tooth broke. I even not have jumped it one time as it happens. So this is really not cool from Losi. The servo is on its way to the warranty, and I made Losi because it's really not okay. I accept some things by cheap cars, but not when I give out more money for a car. Driveline holds up perfectly all abuse. I have no damage or use here after 6 runs in the output drives from the differential, if it's here or on the wheels. Even the shaft here from the center dog bones has no problem. No, because on the old, I had a few years ago an old Dbxl gas version. I put it in brushless in 8s, and after 3 or 4 runs I had a problem with these guys, and here they do a really better job. That's clear. I'm happy with the modification that Dbxl has become within becoming brushless. What's really good so is the stiffener here from the chassis. I make really high jumps. I jump over me, and not just here over me, but over my hand over me, land on a flat surface in the ground, dig a hole in the ground, and we can see here why that's not good to do with so big trucks. The chassis flex so much that the drive cups here becomes, we see them here, the end of the drive shafts goes away in the drive cup so far that it's how to say it makes some marks on the drive shaft. I would say it's not a truck who has make to do so big jumps. I just make it for see if he really hold on so good as I expect, and I have to say I'm really happy with this car, and will no more do these big jumps. It was really just for test what will happen if he brakes or not, and he not brakes, he take it really good. The stock oil in the diff feels good at beginning. After 6 run it's really too thin. I will make harder oil in the front and in the center diff. Rear diff will be okay, so it's not a problem. I will open the diffs to see if the oil in is burned out or not. The center diffs looks really fine, absolutely no problem. What I noticed after only 6 run is that motor pinion and spur gear have already some heavy marks here. I don't know if you see it really well. That's not so good. This means after 10 run you have to change the pinion, and maybe after 20 run you need another spur gear. It's clear when you jump so big trucks you have issues with a screw who losing out or something because the chassis bends really hard. It's a heavy weight to land on from 3 or 4 meter high on the ground, but he takes it all fine. The chassis is still flat, he has no problem at all. And I hope to soon become my motor. I have already the SE, you see it. I will clean this truck up, change the oil and prepare the ESC and all, and wait for the motor. I hope that in 3 or 4 weeks I can get it. See you soon guys. If you have any question, feel free to ask. If you have something to add, if you have some tips for make this car better handle or stronger, just share it, feel free. The channel is here for that. And that's all. Bye guys.